So wherever you are in your week, we may have acquired a few stressful blocks that restrict us from going with the flow or from experiencing good emotions. So let's do an EFT tapping to go with the flow. So taking full responsibility for our own well-being and repeating after me. Let's begin to tap and let's go with that flow. Even though I've had some stresses in my week, and these stresses really don't feel too good. And they're really restricting me from going with the flow of the day. And I love, honor, and accept myself, even though there's some strong emotions that really stop me from seeing a lot of good in the world and a lot of good in myself. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'd really like to go with that flow again. But there are some obstacles in life that I'm bumping up against or feel stuck by. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I want to go with the flow. But there are obstacles in my way. There are some feelings, some physical sensations that really create some intensity. That really create some tension. That really create some blocks that just don't feel good. And I feel stuck. Kind of like a boat that wants to sail, but it's bound to the shore, bound to these docks by some tight ropes. And I feel pretty wound up. And I'd like to release these ropes. They keep me binded to some pretty stressful emotions, to some pretty stressful thoughts. And there's a river before me that I'd like to navigate and go with that flow. But throughout my day, throughout my week, or throughout my life, I've accumulated some thought patterns. And these thought patterns don't feel too good. I've had some experiences that didn't do good to me and left me pretty broken and left me pretty hurt. And I'm trying to set sail whilst bound to these emotions. And I'd like to release these emotions. And I'd like to bring a bit of awareness to these emotions so that I know what I'm dealing with. So I can unbind my ropes and go with that flow. And I'm open to being ready to set sail and address these ropes, address these binds that are holding me back. All this frustration that I feel in my day, all of this anger, All these situations that cause me distress, I choose to release. I choose to release this rope that is binding me, this stressful rope. I release this rope. I release the binds of judgments upon me, of judgments of others that's keeping me stuck. I release these binds so that I can go with the flow. I release this need to blame others for not fulfilling my needs or for causing me hurt. I'm addressing this hurt and being accountable for what is mine by releasing my stress and releasing these ropes that bind me and keep me stuck. I'm releasing this guilt for not having done more or for not measuring up to other people's expectations or to other people's needs. And if I've failed, I can learn from that failure and improve a situation. Or know that some guilt is not mine. It's just been how I've made to feel. And the other person can be accountable for their own guilt. Because I release this guilt and these binds that hold me from going with the flow of life. And all this shame of what I should have done, but I just didn't do. And I really beat myself up again about that. Up against this dock that I am bound to. And I can't improve myself whilst I beat myself up. And I don't have to feel shame about that. But I can start to experience a bit of liberation by not repeating an action that causes me hurt. And I release this binds of shame that keep me bound from experiencing the flow of life. And all of this pain, this deep emotional pain that I've experienced in my life, this is mine and mine alone, and mine alone to heal with the assistance of others and the strength and direction of how I want to go with the flow of life that doesn't end up in more hurt. And I release this pain, this deep emotional pain from the binds that hold me from going with the flow of life. And these ropes start to unwind. I feel this in my body. I start to feel this in my mind. And I start to set sail with the flow of life. And down this downward journey of life, as I travel downstream, there are many obstacles along my way. Merely releasing these pains and stresses doesn't mean that throughout my journey of life, I'll encounter other pains and stresses. But I have learned from my experiences of how to navigate around these obstacles and even identify that these obstacles may be parts of my experience that are saying to me, I have more things to resolve, more things to dissolve within myself. And the less obstacles in my way, the more smarter I get as the captain of my ship. I don't have to go around in whirlpools of blame cycles, shame cycles, anger cycles, whatever it may be. I might get caught in a loop, in a thought pattern. But by bringing awareness to this, I can put my rudder into the water and direct myself with the flow of life again. And I'm much more smarter and wiser now for knowing how I want to go in the direction of my flow. And others might have many great advices about how I should go with their flow. And this may be of great benefit for them, or they might be just doing their best. And I can take this on board, their advice and information. I can learn from this, but I don't have to become anchored in their life direction, because I've got my flow. And where I go may not end up in the same direction of how they want me to go. And I give loving compassion for their need for direction in my life. And I'm going with the flow of what I want, what I know, what gives me meaning and purpose, what makes me happy in life. And when I feel a bit more happier in life, that flow might become a little bit more effortless. The obstacles that I have in my way are fun-loving obstacles, fun-loving, challenging obstacles, because are the obstacles that I've chosen in my direction of what I want to do in life. These positive challenges towards a positive goal. What I want to be and how I choose to be in this flow of life, of how I direct my ship, of how I release these stresses that come along my way, how I gain emotional resilience by gaining experience and gaining the emotional capacity to take on more in life and want to become more than when I was tied at the dock and bound by what limited me. And maybe at the end of the journey, through this flow of the river, no matter the advice, we all end up in the same ocean. And I'd like to conduct my life in a way that makes my life a bit more easier and makes those around me a little bit more at less dis-ease. And I can be at harmony with myself in the great ocean of life, in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. So yes, going with the flow of life. And if we're going with the flow, there might be some things that are restricting us from going with the flow, or a few blockages in our thought patterns or bodies that don't create uh, ease. They create a little bit more of a dis-ease feeling. So clearing those, addressing what is holding us back, basically makes us able to go forward. Simple as that. So I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I offer EFT tapping one-on-one online. And if you want to go with the flow a little bit more easier and address your specific issues, it's great to work with an EFT practitioner like myself. So I'll catch you in the next one, and bye for now.